What's up, guys? Preston here with Your Guide Drainage. And in this video, I'm just going to jump right into it. We're going to be covering the best drain cleaning setup to make the most amount of money. So I'm basically going to be going over what I think is the best drain cleaning setup. The things that we're going to be covering in this quick little video is the best drain cleaning equipment for every situation. So from simple clogs to full-scale blockages, why these tools outperform everything else on the market and how they can make your life easier, what each piece costs. So we're going to go over the costs and what you should expect to invest to get fully equipped. And then kind of what you can charge using each setup and how quickly it pays for itself. So turning your tools into money-making machines. So we're going to go over all the equipment. I'm going to break each one down. We're going to go one at a time. We're going to start kind of with the cheapest equipment, the no-brainer equipment, and we're going to go through each piece and break it down. These pieces of equipment are what I personally use. This is the setup that I use, and so I want to explain why I use this setup. And because there's so many choices out there. There's lots of equipment. So I'm going to show you all the equipment I use and why I use it. So we're gonna get into it right now. So the first thing um, is the toilet auger. So the toilet auger, obviously, we're going to go over the cost. You can get a toilet auger for $100, $200, depending on the style of auger you buy. The types of drains that you can clear with this are going to be obviously plug toilets, pretty uh, understandable that it's just meant for toilets. So those are going to be anyone that takes a really fat shit and needs it unclogged. You're going to be the guy to do it. And again, every market is different, but we charge $225, and we also have a $29 call out fee. So we're almost around $250 to go in and do a simple 5-minute job to unclear a toilet. Again, every market's different. I'm not saying that's what you can charge. That's what we charge. How fast can you pay this off? One job. You do 1, 2 jobs, it's paid off. Realistically, one job. So next one is going to be your hand auger with a drill. So I like having a little rigid hand auger with a drill attached to it. Your cost on this, you're probably for the hand auger is going to be around $100, 120. I'm also giving you Canadian prices, so if the price doesn't sound right, obviously, again, adjust to your market. And then I like attaching the drill to it, so you're going to have a drill. Now, the types of drains that I do with this in my plumbing setup or my drain cleaning setup is shower drains, tub drains, and some lab sinks. Not every lab sink, but some. So I use this for basically tubs and showers because most of the time it's just going to be hair. You send the drill down, you get the hair out, and you pull the hair out. Um, how much can you charge for this? We charge anywhere from $297 for simple shower unclogs or bathtub unclogs to $397 for lab sinks. And again, that's also on top of that is going to be a $29 call out fee. So that's what we charge. I'm not saying that's what you can get. Every market's different, but that's what we do. How fast can you pay this off? You're going to pay it off in one job. So those first two, very simple drain machines that you can pay off right away. So now we're going to get into some more serious equipment. The next piece of equipment that I like to keep in my van is the K3800 drum machine. So the cost of this is going to be around $3,000. Again, that's Canadian. Obviously, you might buy some different heads and different cables, but I like the K3800 with the 3/8 cable. 3/8 3/8 cable. And so I like to use the 3/8 cable because it's a little bit smaller. And you can do kitchen sinks with this. You can do lab sinks with this. You can do floor drains with this. You can do some sewer lines. I wouldn't recommend it for sewer lines, but you can do sewer lines with it. But more often than not, it's for kitchen sinks. Now, some people might say, well, why don't you use the K400 for that? It's a much cheaper machine. And the reason I like the 3800 is because it's more powerful. It's more powerful than your simple drum machines like the K400. Or I know a lot of people that use like hand drills for kitchen sinks. If you're running into a heavy grease blockage, you're not going to clear these heavy grease. Kitchen sinks can be tough if they're heavy with grease. And so I like the 3800 because it's a little more powerful. So in a lot of situations, it's overkill. But when you run into those tougher blockages, you don't have to worry about not being able to clear it. So that's why I like the 3800. It's a little more powerful than what you need for simple clogs, but when you run into the tough ones, you have that extra power. That's why I recommend the K3800. I could use a K400, which is nowhere near as powerful, but when I run into those tough ones, you want your 3800. So I'd rather just spend a little more and get the powerful one. So cost is going to be around 3,000. Types of drains we just went over. How much can you charge? We charge $429 for a kitchen sink, plus we charge a $29 call out fee. So you're around $450. How fast can you pay it off? Roughly 7 jobs. So it'll take a little bit longer to pay this one off, but you're also going to do a lot more work with this. Like kitchen sinks are one of the most common drains, and you have more versatility with this machine. So it might take more jobs to pay off, but you're going to pay it off pretty quick because you're going to use it a lot. Then you have the K60 sectional machine. This is again what I keep in my truck. All this equipment I keep in my truck at all times. So the next one is the K60. Your cost is going to be around $4,000. Again, depending on how much cable you buy, the types of heads you buy, it's going to go up and down depending on what you spend, but around $4,000. Types of drains that we do with this are going to be main lines and larger storm drains. So basically anything from 3 to 6 inches. Storm drains and main lines. We do a lot of storm drains. We do a lot of main lines. How much can you charge? Again, depending on your market, but out here, we normally, when we're using this machine for main lines and storm drains, we're pulling in 600,000 bucks in that range. More often than not, around the $800 range, but depending on the type of job it is. So 600 to 1,000 bucks. So how fast can you pay it off? 5, 6 jobs, right? So that's what we use for bigger drains. I don't like using drum machines for bigger drains because the K3800 is not really meant for big, tough blockages in main lines with roots and heavy grease. You're going to struggle with this machine. It's a little undersized. So I like the K60 sectional. It's very powerful. And I can't remember the last main line I couldn't clear with it unless the drain was actually broken. So it's more than enough power. And I don't like using the bigger drum machines because they're so heavy. This thing you can obviously is much lighter and you can carry it into the house without breaking your back. So that's why I carry this machine. The next thing is a good jetter. Now, the price on jetters can vary greatly depending if you just buy a standard jetter for $3,000 or if you buy like a really good commercial jetter. I spent around 15,000 for mine. This is not my jetter, by the way. I just took photos off the internet for this video. But I spent about $15,000 on mine. But we got a jetter that does 8 gallons a minute at 3,500 PSI. So it's basically a commercial grade jetter, and it can adapt, and we can use the big root cutting nozzles with that, the Warthog nozzle, the Reaper nozzle. And so we spent about 15,000. This is going to be used more for specialty work, like cleaning out roots, cutting roots out of sewer lines, cutting roots out of storm drains, flushing out heavy debris out of bigger, larger storm drains, or just heavy, heavy grease blockages, or just maintenance for strata buildings, etc. So how much can you charge for this? I mean, again, depending on the type of drain you're doing and how you're pricing your services, you could be 600, 1,200, you could be $3,000. It really depends on the type of jobs you're doing. I would say the jobs that we're using the jetters on, we're doing at least a minimum 800. But many times we've charged 12, 1,500 for the jetter for maybe 3 hours of work. It just depends. It depends how you're selling it and how you're packaging it all together. So your jetter going to be anywhere from 10 to 20 jobs to pay it off, depending on the size and model and specs that you buy. So that's pretty much what I keep. This is what I keep in my truck all the time, right? So this little service van you see here always has this is the equipment that is in every single truck. Toilet auger, hand auger, K3800, K60, and a jetter. With that setup, I can literally solve every single drainage problem I run into. There isn't a drainage problem that I cannot solve with this setup. So no matter where I go, no matter what drain I do, I know I will be able to solve the problem. And so that's kind of the breakdown of what I keep in my truck and the reasons why and how fast you can pay that equipment off. So if you have any questions regarding this equipment, guys, and if you like this style of video, I tried something different here. I'm obviously doing a screen share with I wore these mics because I wanted it to be clear for the audio. But if you like these style of videos, let me know, comment below because I'll make more of them. Uh, but yeah, that's what I keep in my truck, guys. And we solve every single drainage problem we run into on the spot. We never take trips back to the shop to grab different equipment because we're always equipped with the right equipment. And this setup will allow you to solve every single problem. So again, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Preston from Your Guy Drainage signing out. Comment below, let me know if you like this video, if you have any questions regarding the equipment in the video. And yeah, I'll reply to every comment. So just fire away, let me know. And if you have any future ideas, I will look for those comments as well. We'll talk to you later. Peace.